I walked past a shopping cart in a ditch last week. It wasn't sitting in a store, and it wasn't even in a parking lot. The thing was down in the weeds with the wheels half in the water and a plastic bag hanging out of the child's seat. I laughed. You would too. It looks like someone got tired of pushing it and just left it there. That's what people do when they see a cart in a ditch. They laugh, they keep walking, and the cart stays where it is. If you think about carts as a job at all, you think about the corral. You know that metal pen in front of the grocery? Kids after school push a long line back toward the door, one kid on each end, and the whole train rattles across the lot. Most people picture that kid on minimum wage, being nice, walking carts back so the store stays stocked. If you're the kind of person who thinks about selling things, you think someone buys the carts and sells them to the store. A kid pushing a line looks like the whole story, and I get why. You walk out with groceries, you dump the cart in the corral, a kid walks it back, and the floor inside never runs out. That is the job people can see from the lot. I went back on a Tuesday. The store was open. Cars were in the lot and the doors were sliding, and a kid was out there pushing a short line from the corral to the door. The cart in the ditch was still in the ditch. Nobody had come for it. The weeds were a little higher, the bag was still in the seat, and the water had not moved it. The store, right up the bank, had not moved it either. If the kid in the corral was the whole job, that cart should have been gone by Tuesday, because the store was open and the kid was working. The cart sat there anyway. I have seen that leftover cart in apartment lots too. One by the dumpster, two more at the far end of the building next to a stair, still there on Tuesday while the store down the road stays open. People still laugh at those. A cart by a dumpster is funny in the same cheap way a cart in a ditch is funny, because it looks like junk that used to hold milk. A city truck rolled past the lot later that week, the kind with code on the door that checks yards and alleys, not groceries. The driver slowed down by the dumpster cart. He did not get out, and he did not take the cart. He left a paper on a pole by the lot, the kind of notice you walk past without reading. The kid does not leave the lot. He doesn't walk into a creek. When his shift ends, the cart is still sitting in the water, and nobody on the floor inside has a reason to walk down there after him. The city truck came back, and it was not there for the kid. It was there for the cart people laughed at. I stood there longer than I meant to, and you start to invent reasons. Maybe the store doesn't own that one. Maybe a renter dragged it home for laundry and got tired. It does not explain a city truck taking an interest in a cart full of weeds while the store is open. The joke is still sitting in the water, and the notice is still on the pole. The cart is not trash, even if it looks like it. The city told the store to go get it, or the city will go get it. The store gets 3 business days after the notice. Miss that window and the city can take the cart, then send the store a bill. In some towns, they crush what nobody claims. That is why a cart in a ditch is not a joke to the store, and why the kid in the corral is not the whole job. The city made the pickup a job. The grocery is not paying you to be nice. The city is why the work has to happen on a Tuesday. I will not invent what a grocery chain pays an independent. Phoenix printed the price. September 18, 2024, they adopted Ordinance S51261. If the store already hired a company to go get its carts, the city charges $25 a cart when the city has to do the work. If the store did not hire anyone, the city charges $50. Phoenix uses a vendor named ACS to do some of that pulling. In 2017, Phoenix pulled 2,937 carts. 2022 was a different year, 8,604, and that is one year, not a habit I can pretend is every year. Those 8,604 carts are a lot of walking for a city crew, and every one of those is a store that did not get there first. Riverside put the same kind of work out to bid. Their 2024 request, RFP 2362. The city pays the contractor $20 each time they drop a cart at a store that signed up, $23 at a store that did not. Fiscal 2023 to 2024, they moved 8,294 carts. About $120,000 a year, city side. They got 92% of the cost back. One bidder showed up. That tells you the field is thin. It does not tell you your first truck will do $120,000 because that number is the city's year, not a promise. California writes it in the business code, section 22435.7. 3 business days after the notice, then the city can take the cart. Extra times, a fine up to $100 each. The next section, 22435.7.5, lets the city bill what it actually costs to go get the cart, capped at $100 a cart after a 48-hour notice. Arizona names the job out loud in ARS 44-1799.31, the business of shopping cart retrieval. The city can take the cart after 3 business days, and the fine goes up to $50. If you're the one driving, they want a written letter from the store in the truck, and that rule is 44-1799.34. Long Beach makes the store go get the cart. Carts nobody claims, the city crushes after 30 days. A new cart is not cheap, and that is the other half of why the store cares. I looked at one dealer page, Carts and Parts, on August 20th, 2026. A Narco M90Z, a 5-pack, $1,150 shipped. That is $230 for one new cart. That is one page, not a national average. $230 is why the store cares about a dented cart. The law is why they have to care on a Tuesday. I do not have a store direct rate card. Phoenix and Riverside print the city side. I will not paint a number I did not see. You can start this with a pickup. You get a written letter from a grocery or a dollar store, the kind that says you may take their carts and bring them home. You keep that letter in the truck. Arizona wants it there. You pick up the ditch cart and the apartment lot cart and you take them back. The job is not a row of carts for sale. You haul them home so the store stays on the right side of the notice. You can also go to the city desk. You bid the blight contract so the store never sees the $50 ticket because the city pays you to haul the carts home. Riverside's bid had one bidder. The field is thin, which is how a pickup gets in, and also how a city can change the bid next year. You do not need a storefront. You need a truck and insurance and that letter in the cab. The customer is whoever the law names, which in practice is a grocery, a dollar store, or the city code desk. I do not have an independent owner's books in this packet, so the money I can say is the city paper. Phoenix, $25 and $50 a cart. Riverside, $20 and $23 a delivery. One new cart is $230 on that Carts and Parts page. 2 or 3 grocers and a letter is a start. So is the city bid. A shiny row of new carts for sale is not the job. Labor is the cost. You drive and you lift, and you get paid per cart, not per hour of sitting in a lot waiting for one to appear. One bidder city work means the work is real and the field is thin. It also means the city can rewrite the bid or hand it to someone else. Do not build a life on one request staying kind. Carts get trashed or dumped in water. Sometimes someone claims the cart is theirs. Some cities crush what you do not bring back in time. Long Beach waits 30 days, then the crusher. You need the letter. Arizona wants it in the truck. Without it, you are a guy taking carts off a street, and that is a different conversation with a cop. I do not have a weekly take-home for a one-truck owner. I will not invent 5,000 a week or any other owner number to make this sound fatter than the city paper. The kid in the corral still has a job. The store still buys new carts when they have to. Your job, if you take it, is the Tuesday cart the kid never walks down the bank for. A creek can ruin a cart, and a city can change the rule next year. None of that is a reason to invent a paycheck I did not see. It is a reason to treat this like work, not a joke you tell at dinner. I went back to the ditch. The weeds are still there. The bag is gone because the cart is gone. One cart on a truck and the ditch is empty. People will still laugh when they see you load it. Let them. The joke is the job. The blight law is the business. I am Wolfe. We follow the money. Wolfe Business Journal.